I'm good. How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Well, been a long. Why don't you come over, Lindsay? Come keep me company till the card man starts. Where are you?
No, I'm going to be in a few minutes, so take your leisure. Have a seat.
Come over, Lindsay.
Wow, this seat is warm. It's like nice and cozy.
Craig's
and
fault. What we should do is just have people like continue moving down a little bit.
Yeah, it's almost like we're on some very, very long talk show.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, XR. That's exactly what
It's very much exactly what it is. Or we've been trying to ask trivia questions once in a while.
You must be getting to a point where you're like, okay, let's keep the conversation
Keep
flowing.
moving or else.
What's the capital of United Arab Emirates?
Well, not even that kind. It's all like TV and movie trivia.
Right.
In Friends, oh, we already did that one.
Is Jennifer Lawrence here?
What? Did anybody else just hear Rue's whistle? Okay.
It's my text.
It's that was what day is it? Holy crap. So yeah, our process here is we're recording, our backup is to memory cards.
Right.
And each camera takes two, so we're just like switch them out, dump it onto a drive, and then put it back in while the other one's recording. So that's what Tim's doing.
It seems very like you have to be technologically.
You have to be
sufficient
aware
person.
of your surroundings at the time of day.
And you also have to have the timing, the schedule. It's like jazz, right? It's like just keep it,
Yeah. Ooh, I should probably mention before we do anything,
Yes.
our sponsor for the hour is Vicky Humphrey, who's been super supportive.
Lovely.
So we did an Indiegogo campaign, and one of the options was, one of the perks was to sponsor an hour, or help sponsor an hour,
cool.
so. We had almost, and then we were so tired last night, everything was such a disorganized chaos as we were trying to get going. I was like, I missed like 5 in a row, and I was like, oh my god, but there was more
Let's
spots
go back
after,
for the
so it's
previous
like,
5 hours.
Just a shout out to the last 5 hours, here we go.
And you're eating?
Yes. The hotel's being very good. They probably even have lunch for us right
behind
now.
you here, like
Hi.
your crumbs and stuff, or
Yeah, because we're pigs.
whatever's going on here. It's
I
like
don't even know. It's been like this since we got here. Kitty?
I understand there may have been some inebriated people
There were definitely some inebriated people
last
last
night. Maybe into this morning, coming into the lobby. Always makes for
Having a
good
little
podcast.
chit chat.
Yeah.
Especially when they're not on camera, so you just see all of us go like,
Hey, yeah. Stop vomiting.
exactly.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's gonna leave a mark. Where's my coconut water? Apparently it's quite the process. I don't do it.
I know nothing about this kind of stuff, and nor do I wish to know, because,
It's just magic. It's
I was
magic
saying
that I don't
earlier,
have to worry
I'm
about.
one of those people who, like, things just break around me.
Yeah.
I'm not technology hates me.
Me
I'm one of those
too.
people. So
Me too.
I try to.
I had to change my password at work right before, like the day before I left, so there's
I
no way
hate-
I'm remembering that. When
I
go
hate
back.
that. How many passwords? And then some of the passwords like, oh, I'm sorry, you need a capital letter and
Yep.
and
you need a certain stuff, and it can't be anything close to what you've used the last 6 times.
So
and
now I'm
who
like,
can remember that.
It's like I'm protected from myself because I'll never remember.
Exactly. There's no way I'm getting into this machine ever
Yeah,
again.
like it's so many passwords.
So how's your weekend been so far?
My weekend's been fine. I mean, it's just kind of
Kind of relaxing.
Yeah, it's good.
And now we got you some comfy furniture.
I like. Yeah.
It's like balloons that are hovering just
I
around
feel like
your
I
face
feel like
now.
this is like some kind of antenna that's been like,
Like all of these have come down, and that little guy's still staying up there. We got balloons,
I was.
and it turned out the hotel had helium laying around.
What?
We're like, what?
It is the
I'm
internet.
having a tank brought up. Okay, I don't know how much is in it. That's still more than we have.
You should do several hours with the just breathing in the helium.
I agree. I wanted to like suck the helium out when we break the record, and then just like do a couple
And just do it like as long as
couple
you
little
can.
interviews.
Do like a Beatles.
And none of it would be coherent because we'd just be laughing at each
yeah.
other.
And the
then
more
the
you,
laugh
the more
would
you did
sound
it,
funny.
you might get high, but that might not necessarily be bad.
It wouldn't be far off what we're going to be anyway. 'Cause it's like 41 hours we have to beat. And we're going for 40.
48.
48. There, this is Tim.
It's driving you nuts.
You're the balloon.
She's like getting mad at the balloons.
That's different.
It It's making a comeback.
So this is a.
Did you see anybody in there?
No, didn't even see my own reflection, which means I'm probably a vampire or something.
Probably.
Right?
Some sort of undead figure.
Yes. Some sort of
Except a zombie, because I'm sure they
demonic
show up
being.
in mirrors. They just don't use them.
They don't use them.
They don't care what they look like
They don't.
anymore.
They have no vanity.
No vanity, no shame. None of that. The deep thoughts of a zombie. How goes it, Tim?
Less than a minute.
All right.
People are walking by like, what is going on? It's actually quite a decent place to have a show in the lobby of a hotel. There's a lot of action
Yeah.
going on, people coming by. It's nice big ceilings and
And for the most part,
The
it's not,
acoustics.
the background noise doesn't seem as loud as I thought it was going to.
Right.
So that's something. Except at like 5 a.m. when all these runners came up there was like 100 of them from downstairs.
runners at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Jesus. These runners.
And then they all like gathered here, and then they all went out and ran for like a half hour or something. And then they all came back.
And then they all ran back in.
Pretty much. They had a little cheering thing outside.
God.
I took a selfie with them in the background.
Really?
I was like, you just don't see this every day. I don't see anything either. All right.
Voila. Here we go.
It's great that. I like
we
it a
go.
lot. It's alright that.
It's a grande, lads. It's a grande. I like it a lot.
Tim, Robin,
Robin, how are you?
Hey, good to see you. How's it going?
I'm swell.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good.
You look fantastic. You guys
Right?
both look
I'm like
fantastic.
so.
It's not gonna go away, that balloon.
You know what? It will if I put it under my chair.
Don't smother the balloons.
There we go. See
There you go.
what
It's
I did?
gone.
Put it under the chair.
there
But
you
yeah,
go.
dude, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
You know, this is-
I'm wondering if could you have gotten a more phallic.
Well, I
looking
could
microphone?
have. Oh, I could
You
have.
could have,
Oh yeah.
but that would not have been appropriate
Probably wouldn't be a microphone
for all
either.
48
so.
hours.
Probably wouldn't be a
Yeah,
microphone.
never mind. I won't even go there.
Dude, at this point, my brain is. There are no limits, no filters at this point. So yeah, I'm gonna get in some
Is there
serious
something
trouble.
about
later.
calling your doctor after 4 hours?
Maybe, but I'm not quite sure where she is, so that's fine.
I'll
But yeah,
call mine.
call one for help. But yeah, welcome in. Welcome
Thank
to
you
the
very
show.
much. You know, I last night in honor of being here
Right.
today, I went to see a screening of Pump Up the Volume.
Wow.
At the TIFF. They were playing
Nice.
Pump Up the Volume.
Oh my
last night.
God.
And I thought, you know, what a kind of appropriate thing to go and
Yeah,
see.
I haven't seen that since like shortly after it came out.
I know,
Oh my
you know,
God.
and it's 25 years old.
dude.
And
It's still awesome,
but you
though.
forget
I got it on
it's-
DVD. I've watched it more
holds
recently.
up. It's such
yeah.
a good. Alan Moyle, Canadian director. You know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alan Moyle directed it, and it's
Huh.
it's really quite a good movie. I mean, for the '90s, you know, I liken it to it's kind of a network for the '90s generation.
Yeah.
Right? And you have Christian Slater. He's just doing
What
Jack.
he's doing, Jack.
Oh no, I think, and also I was looking at his eyebrows, and I was like, he looks like Jack.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's when he totally played it up at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Which, I'm like, that's fine. I mean, if that's your
I mean,
thing.
bad boy.
But like, you know, it's a great performance.
It
great movie,
is. I remember like the soundtrack for that.
Yeah.
I just
Soundtrack
played
is
that
fantastic.
over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Just
Leonard Cohen, everybody knows.
Because when this is how much it influenced me, because it came out when I was in college. So, and I was working on the radio station in the college. And I would start with a track from that CD every shift that I did.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, we didn't do any like vocal or announcements or anything, but I just wanted to play like all the
I
music
will
just
go
like
chicken.
that. This is wicked.
Yeah.
What? Ooh, what are you having?
Chicken.
You guys are
Roasted
ordering
and
lunch
perfect.
nice. I like it. Get
I
some
know.
lunch. Get
I
some
love
food
this
into you.
theater. The theater. I love this theater. This is not a
This
theater.
theater.
This is a lobby.
This is our theater now.
But yeah,
It's our
first
theater.
question is
Yes.
all-time favorite movie, man? Because you've never been on the show. We got to know these things. This is important.
I'm out of water.
That's a really
But I'm
hard
drinking
question
it.
to answer. I mean, all-time favorite. There's
Is it Pump
so
Up the Volume?
No, it's not Pump Up the Volume, but I quite like that movie.
As
but
you should.
I mean, I could fill probably a 48-hour podcast just with favorite movies.
Right.
I
Let's
have
do
this,
it.
I have this thing
We
where-
got some time, as it turns
What
out.
are you guys doing next weekend? I mean, that's, I have this thing where I watch movies. I can watch movies over and over
Me
and
too.
over again. I
Yeah.
can literally put a movie on right after I've just
Oh,
finished
yeah.
watching it. I love Rosemary's Baby. Amazing film. I guess because it's kind of around Halloween. I've been watching a lot of the horror movies.
As you should. Anytime is a good time for a horror movie.
Shining.
Yeah, we were
You know,
just talking about that.
Yes, we
It's
were.
interesting. I just read
A couple times today, actually.
Speaking of jazz.
Speaking of jazz.
Speaking of jazz.
Not gonna hurt you, Wendy.
Just gonna rip your fucking head off.
We could also just do that whole
We
movie.
could. Why not, right?
Kill a couple hours right there.
But it's funny. I just read the recent Rolling Stone. There's an interview with Stephen King, and I didn't realize how much he really does not like
He does,
that
and
movie.
he hates that
He
movie.
doesn't like that movie, and I kind of understand. I mean, because if you read the book,
Oh, it's completely different.
Yeah.
the hotel makes Jack Torrance's
Yeah.
character crazy, right? Or Jack Torrance, the character, crazy. But
This is
in
the
the
greatest
movie,
thing ever.
Nicholson is just nuts from day one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's hinted at that maybe there's something in the hotel, but yeah, I mean, it could just be he goes, what is it, cabin fever, just
Yeah.
loses his mind.
And you know what? As much as I know that movie and love it, I still don't really get the ending with the photograph.
photograph.
What does that mean?
I
Can you
don't know,
explain that to
man.
me? Can you guys? 'Cause
I just know he's always been there, and I'm like, I'm not quite sure what you're telling me, Stanley, but it's fucked up.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So I pretend I know what it means every time I watch him. Like, yeah, of course he was always there. He's always been there. That makes
Yeah.
sense. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't
Yeah.
get it.
But I pretend I do because I want to sound smart.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. But yeah.
What do you guys? What's your top tens? What's like?
Oh man, I can't do a top 10 because my top 10 will
Okay, it's
change
too-
constantly.
Yeah.
The greatest movie of all time is in fact Jaws, Lindsay. Just so you know, it
Greatest
is
movie of all time.
Jaws.
So that's a big statement. Greatest movie of all
Jaws
time
is my favorite
is
movie.
Jaws.
Yeah. Yeah.
Favorite movie and greatest movie of all time are two very different
Not
things.
for me. Not for me.
You know what's great about Jaws?
Everything.
One of the many things. But you know what I think is brilliant is the way when you watch the way Spielberg sets up his shots.
Yeah.
Every shot tells you a piece of the story, and,
totally.
the one that comes to mind is Brody wakes up. We don't know who he is, right?
Yeah.
He's at the phone rings, right? There's two phones.
The two phones,
We're
yeah.
like, we don't know who this guy is, and then he's got to go to work. The kid comes in. He's cut himself. Blah blah. Blah, and then we still don't know who he is. He walks out to his truck. He gets in his truck,
Yeah.
and then on the side of the truck
There's
you see
the
the sheriff,
sheriff
and you're like,
badge, yeah.
and that's the brilliance of
Yeah,
Spielberg.
that's how you tell
he
a
knows how to
story.
tell a
Yeah.
story, as opposed to saying, "Well, I'm
the
the
sheriff."
sheriff
Yeah.
of the town. I got to get to work, honey." You know?
Apparently, there's been some kind of attack.
Yeah. But
From New York.
Wild animal.
How is it? Oh man, now I can't. I can
No.
do all the lines in that movie, and now I can't think of
no,
that
it's like
line.
in
In Amity, you say
say,
yeah.
"Yad."
In the yard, not too far from the
Far
car.
from the car.
How's
Yeah.
that? Like you're from New York.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I love that movie.
And Robert Shaw.
Robert Shaw. I
Robert
can't
Shaw.
do a Robert Shaw
Robert Shaw.
impersonation to save my life.
Shaw
I
goes-
used to be
Shaw
able
goes
to
in
do
the
the
water.
mayor. Like
And
the whole
it's interesting
mayor's
too.
speech.
You know, you watch that very famous scene, the speech about the Indianapolis,
I've got his T-shirt upstairs with the whole speech written
Really?
out in the shape of the poster.
Really,
Yeah.
that's cool. But Shaw. Apparently, the story goes he was too drunk one night. He tried it, and then he was too drunk, and he.
Well, it was like a 17-page. Well, not 17-page, but it was like
was
pages
long.
longer than it was. Yeah.
I think Shaw had something to do with the writing of that speech.
Yeah.
But if you watch that scene very closely too, you'll see he'll start it, and then it cuts, and it looks different. It's because they came back and shot the rest of the day.
Oh,
Right?
I love that speech.
You're all gonna die. Richard
Oh.
Dreyfuss.
Oh, Richard Dreyfuss.
Can you guys recommend any good hotels? Yeah, just walk straight
ahead,
forward.
you'll be fine. You're all gonna die.
You're all gonna die. I don't need this working class hero shit.
I love that. I love
By the
that
way,
line.
are we allowed to
You can
say
swear all
bad
you
words?
want.
All right.
Fuck yeah.
I don't think I will. I'm not
It's the interwebs. You can say whatever the hell you want. So,
Good guy.
you want to reenact like The Big Lebowski? We can do that.
You know what I've been watching a lot of lately?
Is it Defiance?
Well, no, I haven't watched it. But nice segue, though. I like that. That's really good. I've been watching a lot of Wes Anderson movies.
Nice. I do like my Wes Anderson movies. Yep. I just recently saw, what was it?
Budapest Hotel?
Yeah.
Such a good movie.
I saw it on one of my flights, and I'm like, I can't believe I didn't see this one in the theater because I see most of his in the theater.
So good, yeah.
And I'm like, I just love the way he tells a story.
Yeah.
And it's more about the characters and their quirks than it is necessarily the story.
And there's so many moving parts and so much going on.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's interesting when you have a filmmaker because I remember watching Bottle Rocket thinking this is a brilliant movie.
Yeah.
But then you get to Rushmore.
I
and you're
love
like,
Rushmore's my favorite.
Rushmore is just brilliant.
Were you in the shit? I was in the
Awesome
shit.
Yeah. I don't believe I've ever met anyone quite like you. You haven't, have you?
You haven't, have you? I love that movie.
But it's interesting. Like, careers are interesting, right? Because he makes Rushmore. It's so brilliant. It's kind of like the Orson Welles thing, right?
Yeah.
Where then I saw. I don't know what's next. Maybe Life Aquatic is next, or
was it Tannenbaums? I think Tannenbaums.
Tannenbaums is next.
yeah.
Yes, you're right. Tannenbaums.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I don't know. I don't really like it. Whatever.
That one grows
Now,
on you.
I go back and I watch Tannenbaums, love it.
Yeah,
I go
right?
back and I watch Steve Zissou, Life Aquatic, love
Yeah.
it. But at the time when you watch Rushmore, and then you go right to Tannenbaums. It's
a tough
just
transition.
a weird thing,
Yeah.
right? Like if I'd never heard of this filmmaker and I watched the Royal Tannenbaums, I'd be like, oh my god, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
But because it's in reference, it's almost like he's competing to
There
it.
it is.
There it is.
We got 12 o'clock.
They're like tears from the sky.
12:30 on the nose. A balloon
Who
comes
picked
down.
12:30?
Oh god, there's children crying over there too.
It's not the same kid that
This is
lost the
the
balloon.
dead zone. Oh, help us.
Can you do it, Christopher Walken?
Will you
This
accept
is
my
my
balloon?
Wilson. Wilson!
No, Wilson, I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
I have made fire. I have made fire.
I haven't watched that in forever either.
This is
Dude.
Zemeckis.
Yeah.
Zemeckis.
I like Ms. Zemeckis.
Christopher Walken. It's crazy. Wilson, come back, please. I'm on a raft. It's nuts. It's goofy. I'm talking to a volleyball. It's embarrassing. Nuts. Goofy. You just keep saying the word goofy over and over. Goofy. Crazy. Yeah.
I wish I could do a Walken impersonation. I do. I can't do it.
My friends and I have this joke about
I'd want to
what's his
rap.
name? Michael Caine. We have this joke about Michael Caine that Michael Caine, before being cast in the Batman movies,
Okay.
never knew what Batman was. He
Yeah, I could honestly believe that.
I do this film. I thought it was a bloody cricket player, the Batman. There's this guy. He's a black suit. It's bloody awful. I'll tell you. He just has no idea. He's never heard of Batman. No idea. Some folks want to watch the world. But, I don't want to go into like the trip. Those guys are good, but
Oh man.
it is true. It's like he's gone up from up here, to down here. Everything is like this. Either he thought it was about a cricket player or a very nice Jewish family. The Batmans.
The Batmans.
The Batmans. Yeah. Anyway, ridiculous. But yeah, Zemeckis.
Right?
Right,
Zemeckis.
how did we? Oh, right.
Kaylee?
Awesome.
Wilson.
What did I watch? You know, I watched. Also, maybe I don't have a lot of friends. I watch a lot of movies.
I like to think I have a lot of friends, and I watch a lot of movies. So,
Back to the Future.
oh, dude, where do you want to start?
Well, what about 2 and 3?
It's tough, man. I will watch one over and over and over again. If I watch 2 and 3, I have to watch them all together.
Yeah.
As a cohesive whole. Otherwise, I'm like, I'm not so sure.
I'm not so sure about. And here's the thing too: is like when they used to make movies in the '80s, they didn't think about making 3 of them.
No, they
just
didn't.
made one.
Yeah.
Right? So then they kind of handcuff themselves a little bit at the end, and
Yep.
she's in the car, and they have to put her out and stuff. The second one is a little messy, but if you like westerns,
Oh yeah,
Back to the Future 3 is
a great western.
very good western.
Yeah,
it's a
which is what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
Was shoot a western. So I'm like, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You know, and you switch. You know, Doc becomes the lead and Marty becomes the sidekick. I'm like, I'm good with that.
I like that. Yeah.
You know?
I just don't know what happened. I feel sorry. The person I feel really the most sorry for in the whole Back to the Future.
Is it
Yes.
Einstein?
No, it's not Einstein.
Okay.
Einstein had it
Jennifer.
well. I feel bad for Huey Lewis, and here's why.
Oh, yeah.
Because Huey Lewis was like, he was the guy who.
You're just
first
too
of all,
darn loud.
You know, that's him, right? That's him. You're
You're
just,
just too
And
darn
then they
loud.
had
I'm
the
sorry.
soundtrack, and then they go to they go to number 3, and it's ZZ Top.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what happened there?
I would
wanna know.
have stuck with Huey Lewis. I mean, ZZ Top, fine, but go, stick with Huey Lewis.
Huey
man.
Lewis in the news is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Love Huey Lewis.
anyway,
What
so
the hell is a gigawatt?
is this beer?
No, it's a Red Bull.
It's a Red Bull.
Yeah, it's my second one. So I'm pacing myself because I'm going to get through this entire weekend. I am not going to get remotely close to sleep once. I'm going to be...
I've been looking in your eyes
Uh-oh.
the entire time.
Are they vibrating? What's going on?
I've been gazing.
You're there. You're present with me. So every now and then you kind of.
Yeah, there's a little bit of drift.
You come
Yeah.
back. You come back. You know, it's like
a
gravity.
Continental drift.
You know?
Here we go.
It's
Oh,
like,
yep, there
you're
he
like
is.
George Clooney in Gravity. You go away and then you come
He
back.
dies, but he
You
dies.
go away
That's
and
no
come
good.
back.
I don't want to really be Sandra Bullock. There's nothing wrong with Sandra Bullock.
Sandra
I just don't
Bullock,
want to be her. I'd rather be George. George is cool.
George is cool.
George is
Then
cool.
be cool till you die.
I am cool. I will be cool until I die, which may be later this weekend. Who knows? It'll be an overdose of Red Bull.
Yeah.
But dude, come on, you did like five episodes of Defiance this year.
I did some Defiance. Defiance was a
Yeah.
lot of fun, you know. But the thing about Defiance is, I did an episode of the first season, and because they wanted to bring me back, they obviously needed to make me look quite different.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I'm very prostheticized.
Prostheticized.
Prosthetically enhanced? How about that?
Prosthetically
That sounds good.
enhanced.
That's a good word.
Well, I
Use
mean,
that.
I'm prosthetically enhanced even right now.
Hello.
Awkward. Not in that way. Not in that way, you guys. Come on. I'm lying. Yes, in that way. In that way. Yes.
Totally in that way.
I watched Boogie Nights and then I was inspired. No. Or Wolf of Wall Street. So then they brought me back. So I look much different, and which is a lot of fun. Except that means there's a lot of time in the chair,
yeah.
which means I have like 3 a.m.
Oh,
pickup
dude.
calls, which by the time
Are less fun.
they're less fun, especially when you wake up at that time, and then you go to work, and then the first thing anyone does is start gluing sticky shit to your
Right.
face. You know,
Can you
and
now-
like if you're gonna do that, buy me dinner first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sticky notes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But I mean, can you zen yourself out? Can you like?
You kind of do,
Yeah.
and you get into it. But one of the funnest things is when you wrapped, and then you go back into the makeup, and you're like,
And
okay, take this shit off me. And you're like, oh yes, my face. I can feel my face again. Yes, and there's nothing sticking to my neck. And
I love you, face.
yes, I love you.
Well
I-
done.
I'm so
see you.
sorry
Yeah.
for what I've done to you, my pores.
It's for my art.
yeah.
But it was, dude, you were awesome in Defiance.
It's fun. It's
I
good.
love that show.
It's
It's a
good.
cool
Just got
set,
picked up for
too.
season 3.
I know, which I'm so happy about.
Yeah.
Nicole, we're still waiting to hear back from Nicole.
Oh yeah.
That she's adorable, but come on, Nicole, it's just called Facebook. I'm just use it.
Yeah, it's a thing. And another thing that's really nice about working on a show like that, when you come in, there's a show that's already going. Everybody knows each other.
Yeah.
It's when you come onto the show, and it's almost like in many ways you feel like you're the new kid in school.
Yeah.
And it's really lovely when you're so warmly accepted, and you in no time you feel like you've been there from the beginning, and you feel like part of the family. And that's very much what Defiance is like. Great, lovely bunch of people.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, I wish them well, and hopefully.
Yeah, we had such a great time on set because we went in December last year. I think it was December.
It was cold.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
we got
it's
to.
It was so cool. I was like, because you're just like instantly there.
Yeah.
There's a whole little town there.
And it had been like our first sci-fi series that we'd been on set for.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we had
I'm
done
like, I'm walking
Murdoch
into
and
Defiance
Lost
Mud.
Girl, but we're in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's just I'm like, this is wicked, and you go out on the back lot, and everything is there.
And they got the old the old subway car that they've transformed
Right?
from the 80s or whatever it
I
was.
mean, they just I loved it. I think it's my favorite set that we've been on is Defiance.
And I love that because remember we were looking at the use of space just because they were trying to shoot, so we were trying to always go around the corner.
and just
so we're out
all
of
the way, all the alleys.
But
and
yeah,
the
just like
corners,
you
so
change
can
the
just shoot
angle and it's a
everywhere.
whole nother street, but
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's
It's like it's really only like 2 rows or something. But
And I'm not much of I'm not at all a gamer, so I came into the show not really knowing much of the world, and just to kind of experience that and see what they've been doing. It's pretty amazing. Amazing stuff. People walking around.
I love telling this story though.
Yes.
Because we were at Trena's, Doc Yule's house for Sue's birthday.
that's
2 years ago now?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow. And we were talking about the Defiance game because apparently they had sent out the game to like all the cast and stuff.
Right.
And I was talking with Alden, and Alden, her husband, and we're just chatting. And he goes, "Yeah, we played it for like 10, 15 minutes. Not really my thing." I'm like, "You can take it if you want." I'm like, "What?" And then I'm playing the Defiance game, and I'm just playing it. And halfway through, I'm like, "I'm playing Defiance, which I got from Doc Yule, who's in Defiance," and it just got so meta so quick. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I just had to stop playing. I'm like, I'm having a geek moment. I'll be right back.
It's a crazy serendipitous, yeah.
And that's what Kelly McCormick was doing like earlier this morning. This is apparently the symbol for alien sex, right
Yes,
here.
right here. Yeah.
So, if you wanted to know, that's what it is.
Poor Trina. I mean, I talk about the stuff game, but Trina literally, she's got to go in and get like a thing just put over her entire
whole head.
You cannot be claustrophobic.
No.
In any
I don't know
way, shape,
how
or
she
form.
does it. I mean, I have the utmost respect for Trina, but I don't know how she does it.
No, me neither.
Because I mean, I'm not claustrophobic, but just the idea of your whole head is encased. I'm like, I don't know if
Well,
I can
and until
handle
they
that.
got it, like at the beginning, she was talking about how she couldn't hear, she couldn't move
Yeah,
her
she
mouth,
couldn't move-
she couldn't
No.
really
Well,
communicate with anyone.
I was doing a show in Vancouver called Sanctuary.
Yes, you were.
Right.
And so they were doing something, I can't remember, but they had to take a mold of my face to use.
Oh,
something,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So you go into this place, and these guys, it's a special effects studio, and they're like, are you claustrophobic? And I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, I guess if you put me in a trunk of a car, yeah, but like, don't worry about this. Okay. So what they do is they put this bucket of mush on your
God.
lap, right? And you got a plastic bag over you, and basically once they mix it up, they've got to put it on your face really quick because it dries really quickly, right? So they're putting it on, right? So they put it over one ear, and once it goes over that one ear, it's just like you're deaf in that ear.
Yeah.
It's so thick, right?
Oh, God.
So I'm starting to get like, and then they put it over the other ear. Now I can't hear anything, right? And they're just like slapping this stuff on me, and then they put it over my mouth. And I start going like this in the chair. And then they put it over one eye. So now I can't talk, I can't hear, and I can't see out of one eye.
Oh my God.
And I'm starting like, and they start noticing that I'm starting to freak
freak.
out. And they're like, and they've got the stuff in their hands, and they're like, it's drying, and they're like, what's going on? And I was like, guys, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this.
Wow.
And they're like, but yeah, well, are you sure? And I was like, I don't know. So then, obviously, this happens quite a lot because in the reception at this effects studio in LA, there's a very lovely looking girl, right? So one of the guys goes, go get Sally. So Sally comes in. She's like, hey, hi Robin, how are you? And I'm like, I'm scared. And she literally just sits beside me and holds my hand. This is apparently her second job at this office. And then they put the things on me, and then now I'm like completely like, it's like I'm Helen Keller now. I can't. There's nothing going right. And she's just there the whole time going, it's okay, it's gonna be dry soon, it's gonna be dry soon.
At least you think that's what she's saying.
That's what I think. That's what she's saying, right? All I can feel is this, and I'm like, that feels nice. And she's a pretty girl. She's a pretty girl. So anyway, that's my. And then I have a mold of my face. Now I can make out with myself at any time.
As you would want to, right?
Not that I would ever want to. Well, I'm lying.
You're just kind of, you're curious.
Yeah.
You gotta be
I
curious.
can get you one if you want.
I'm
I mean,
all right.
You know?
I appreciate the offer. I'm glad you're thinking of it. And
Yes, here we go.
We are lined up.
I love it.
Yeah.
You guys,
Robin,
awesome.
thank you so much.
So much
If
fun to
you
have
get
you.
time, we want to get you into like the studio to
Yeah.
do like a full session.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do it. I love it.
Because, Yeah, freaking.
You know,
hilarious.
after.
After we get a rest.
If
yeah.
you guys live,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I hope you do.
I hope I do too.
Okay.
Thanks.
And I
Thanks
hope
so
you
much, guys.
So yeah.
Bye.
The cats.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Thank you.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
you,
So good
dude.
to meet you.
Good to see you.
I'm tapping out here. Here we go.
And income, and there